one. Let's see how the connection is. What's up, guys? If you're watching this in playback, thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. This is Eric, and I'm here with Pagey himself, the man, the myth, the legend.
What's poppin'?
Let's see if anybody. I hope that YouTube's algorithm is kind to me tonight, because I know a lot of people were having trouble with their subscription boxes the last couple days. So let's see if that happens. Hey guys, what's up? Just a second. No, I just fixed it.
There, you're back online.
Is it
now.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on screen.
I don't know anymore. It's YouTube. I have no idea. My internet's been acting up all week, so that's why I've had trouble. So I don't have a lot of time tonight. We normally do like a superhero roundup on Thursdays. We've already talked about Supergirl and the Flash. If it stopped I've got to type that in. This is professional right here. If it stopped, hit refresh. We've already talked about Supergirl and the Flash, and there's really nothing else to add to that. Black Lightning, I've got a very special video for that I've already done. So I'm going to release that, tomorrow sometime. So we're going to focus on Arrow because I don't have a lot of time, and kind of just want to talk about it because it was a really good episode. And I just released a controversial video this morning. I don't know if you saw it or not, Paigey. Did you see it?
I watched.
It was a long video, so if you didn't watch the whole thing, I
think I watched the whole thing. I think I just put it on the background and listened to it. That's kind of what I thought people would end up doing. I didn't do a lot of extra stuff with that one. It was basically just me talking. No, I have a Cox Communication, and there's all kinds of jokes because of that name, so I'm pretty sure. So Arrow this week, Paigey and I were talking a little bit. The 25-minute video. I was really, I think just about everything that I complained about in that video was sort of corrected in tonight's episode. So I feel sort of justified in what I said. But we were talking about it earlier. I think this episode of Arrow, with the exception of a couple things that I just wasn't, particularly impressed with, I think it's one of the best episodes this season. What do you think, Paigey? Yeah, I was going through and I think it's the best. Because I can't think of any other episode that really got me excited when certain things happened.
Right.
And captivated, if that's the best way to put it. Yeah, I think it's the best. The only couple I could think maybe compete with it would be the second Deathstroke episode.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, okay, so that's probably about right. Yeah, I mean, as far as the excitement level, I have to believe that was it.
Yeah.
So I got a couple things, and I see a couple comments already. William the Hero, Dinah's really getting on my nerves. Yes, there was a lot of things that I think were done really well. First, I want to talk about the Barry Allen cameo. How random was that? And he wasn't even really there. I saw several people on Twitter asking me how did Oliver get Speed Force powers. It's I guess it wasn't very clear to people what was going on. Brad, we'll talk about that too. I'm gonna cover a lot of stuff since we're just gonna focus on Arrow. I'll talk about that. Chessmaster 1212, thank you for the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Arrow was definitely, like we were just saying, it was probably the best or the second best episode of the season, on par with the other episode that I really liked. So there was a cameo with Barry in the episode, but I kept thinking if he came there to do that for them, why didn't he just scan the city for the thermobaric explosive device? It's just okay, it's fun, but at the same time, if he had time to do that, he had time to run through the city.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Was that okay with you, or was it kind of was it unnecessary in your mind, or?
Or just the cameo in general.
Well, just having him, like, because it was so random.
Yeah, I think it was just more Arrow, just liking to use, the Flash and just like bringing the Flash to it, like last episode, even though I guess it's necessary last episode with Captain Singh. Just bringing that into it. I did see a lot of people wondering, like, oh, how did Barry do it? Like, he would still be in jail at that point. But because this week he was released from jail, Arrow's like 3 weeks ahead of the Flash's timeline or something.
Yeah, so they're technically in the future of Flash's timeline. Yeah, technically.
Arrow's like, yeah, because if in the mid-season premiere, Flash is only a week ahead.
So they just spoiled us. So they spoiled us. We know Barry's going to be alive in like 3 weeks. So they totally spoiled us.
Well, I don't think many people were doubting that. Thinking that.
They always tend to have plot holes, which is funny. I think all the shows have some sort of. It's really hard to avoid all the plot holes.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to just see how. Like, I know it has nothing to do with Arrow at all, but how Wally gets on Legends and how they even work that in. That'll be, because I can see there being a couple of plot holes there, especially saying that the people that work with the Flash like don't get involved with Legends.
Yeah, that's true, because that show is the one that's like the way they have them split up. Like half of the crew works on Supergirl, the Flash, the other half works on Legends and Arrow. So it's definitely different. How do you guys feel about NTA as a team? I don't think it's a team at all.
I think it's just 3 people that are there, that 3 outcasts put together. That's basically what it is.
So before we get into the really good stuff, there's a couple things that kind of bothered me. So I'm going to talk about that first and just get out of the way. Renee is like I'm just going to throw this out there. He's an asshole, period. Like, and I don't normally say that. His character annoyed me when he first came on the show. Then he redeemed himself with me. And now he's just a jerk. He's the worst now. His repetitive Hoss thing has become so bad that it's not even believable anymore. I don't know. I just don't like him, honestly, anymore. What do you think of his character? Like, what do you think? I mean,
it's just like it just feels like it's going nowhere. Like, I feel him and Dinah are like backing themselves into corners of unlikability where they can't get themselves out of it.
Right.
Like, I know people say, like, I think it's more realistic that Black Siren will be redeemed than Dinah and Renee will become likable again. So, and like, once again, it pushes that like that.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Out of everybody involved with what happened with fake Team Arrow, Renee is the one person who really doesn't have room to be mad. You know what I mean? Like, he was the one who made the decision to basically throw Oliver under the bus, thus throwing everybody else under the bus.
Sorry,
by default.
I just closed my Discord by accident.
Oh, are you there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here now.
No, I said Renee, out of everybody on Team Fake Arrow, Renee has the least reason to be, like, he doesn't need to be playing this better than everybody else game, because he's not that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could live with, like, if he wanted to take a break for like a whole season, I would be fine with that. And the other thing that I kind of noticed was, I think Katie had a different stunt double this week, because
the wig was not good.
Yeah, the wig was not good, and she does not look like Katie in stature. Like, she was
short.
Yeah, she was short and more muscular, and Katie is tall and thin. So that's a super nitpick. I mean, that's not really, you know what I mean? Like, that's not something that's a make or break for me. So let me close that window there. I had the wrong window open. So yeah, for me, it was like, I saw that and I was like, okay, so, okay. So let's talk about all the good stuff, 'cause that's really that's the only stuff that really bothered me this week. Was like, okay. So we found out that the person who was pretending to be Oliver was just a hired hitman. It was nobody. We've never met that guy before, right? That guy was specifically for that scene.
Just some random assassin who, and they tied that loose end up pretty quickly, but just saying that the assassin got assassinated, which is convenient, but I think it was necessary. I think if they, brought him into the story, it just would have been like, oh, who gives a crap?
I actually like that he was expendable, because that makes it a little bit easier, Let's see. Gaming Beaster says that you could see Kirk's stunt double when fighting Diggle. I didn't notice that one though. I did notice the Laurel one though. So
it was the height once again. The stunt double for Kirk was like taller than he is,
which is weird because their stunt doubles are usually really close, like as far as like the way they look on Arrow. So
it's almost like maybe a movie was filming when they were filming this one. All the stunt doubles were put in that one, maybe because that's what you sometimes see.
That's true.
That's probably the best reason I could give.
So flashbacks, we got Caden James flashbacks, which were actually pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I thought they put the right amount in there. I think if there was any more, it would have taken too much of the show up for something that I don't necessarily think people were too interested in.
You know what
if
I really...
were in the episode, I wouldn't have really cared. But they were there. That was good to see how he got into that container that we saw last season.
You know, one of the things I noticed while I was watching it was that, well, Stephen Amell's stunt double is pretty spot on if it's the same guy all the time.
Yeah.
But one thing I really liked, and this is something that bugged me, I don't remember if it was, I think it was last season, or most seasons, but the flashbacks were abstractly connected to what was happening with Oliver and William. So I kind of liked that was their purpose. You know what I mean? Like this episode, like William was much less annoying this week than he normally is, in my opinion. And I felt like this was probably one of his better episodes for as far as his character.
The thing I found stupid about William though is just like how easily he was able to get out of the bunker. Just like no one was paying attention to him.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a bit stupid.
I did, but I think that, and you know me, I'll never defend a show for really bad writing, but I think they were just trying to they needed William to be at that location specifically for those things to happen, and I don't think they had a good way for him to get out. But yeah, you're right. I don't understand that, but I do think this was his best episode, in my opinion. I think as an actor, I think this was one of his better episodes, and I love that Caden's absence as a father with his son led him to feel responsible for what happened to him. So that sort of played with Oliver's relationship with William, but I still don't understand where we're going with William. Like, I don't understand where this story is going. I mean, is Roy Harper going to train him to be like the sidekick for Arrow or something? Like, I don't...
I hope not.
Can you see him coming in? Roy's like, I'm going to train you. You're going to be out there in that red suit fighting side by side.
I really hope not.
But I thought the flashbacks were really good. Shinigami says just finished the episode. I think most people are going to be hyped for this episode. If you don't like it, that's fine. But I think you're going to be in a minority this week.
Oh yeah, like honestly, I don't think anyone can be angry at it. And it's probably someone in the comments that's going to get triggered by. But I think if you hate it, it's just because you hate Arrow in general and you're watching to hate. Because I can't see, apart from the stuff you point out about Renee and stuff, and Dinah being a bit irrational,
right?
Or Dinah in particular being irrational. I don't think there's much to fault because I thought Black Siren. I love Black Siren in this episode. I thought she was awesome.
Again, one of her best episodes this season, if not her best episode.
And I think it's leading into a story. Like I thought Quentin was really good.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that in a second. I've got some stuff to say about that one. That was kind of interesting.
Once again, Richard Dragon, not necessarily a lot of dialogue, but when he's on screen, he just your attention is just directed towards him.
I honestly got chills at the end. We'll get to that in a moment.
I think it's one of the best scenes in Arrow that doesn't involve Stephen Amell.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Yeah. Let me skip over here. Talking about Dinah. Okay, so the thing about Dinah is there must be something planned for her because everything she's doing, the irrational stuff that she's doing, I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with it. I still feel like it's a bit much. But they must have something. Are they getting rid of her this season? Do you think she's going to be gone after the season?
I think she's gone just because I don't know where they could take her. I heard an interesting theory though. Once again, #theory, #breakdown. Someone was like, oh, what if they literally just flip it and it's like a story about Black Siren getting redeemed but Dinah Drake going bad. And they basically, so Dinah Drake turns into what Black Siren was and Black Siren turns into what Dinah Drake was at the beginning of the season.
That's crazy. I mean, I could see it happening, but that's crazy.
But it's not like Dinah Drake sticks around. So either she dies come the end of the season or she's imprisoned. One of the two. Okay, so segueing from that, because I think everybody knows how I feel about Dinah in that situation. There's really not much else to say about it. I mean, she pretty much
her story arc was, I mean, where we started at the beginning of this episode, we ended on in the same place. So I don't think there's anything necessarily new about that.
Yeah.
Laurel, I think, had one of her best episodes this season, if not her best episode ever. I think there was so much more to her character in this. I mean, again, this is one of the things I complained about in my video from today, was that I felt like Laurel was an afterthought and she wasn't being, she wasn't being used properly. And I think tonight they redeemed that. A lot of things in tonight's episode fixed every single thing I complained about in my video today. So I feel like it was perfect time for me to upload that video. Connor, I think, yes, thank you, Chance. Thank you so much. Connor, I think we're going to see that. Yeah, I think Diaz and Oliver are going to fight, because I think his fight against Diggle, we got an idea of the fact that he is very capable of hand-to-hand combat, which would be great. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. But getting back to Laurel, so we know that she is struggling with this good girl, bad girl type thing. And even Caden called her out on it. And the fact that he said it out loud means that the writers are considering something. Because, if he hadn't actually said that, they could play it off and pretend like, oh, it was just us seeing things or whatever. But now we know for sure that it's been officially, like, canonized, I guess, with Laurel. And Quentin is doing, like, a mommy dearest thing with her, where he's going to, like lock her up somewhere, I guess. And just try to, like, convince her that she's not a bad guy. Thank you for the donation, Chess Master. Thank you once again. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And also Katie Cassidy posted a picture. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
About her getting like her head molded.
Yeah.
Similar to when she got the Black Canary mask.
Yeah. So she's something different's gonna happen.
Usually that's for wigs though.
Yeah.
So they do it for masks as well, just a facial thing. But like a lot of those times it's for wigs. So I wonder if she's getting another wig. Maybe.
I think it would be great if she got something really cool. Because I'm wondering if she has to be more covered because she is known to everybody. Like, if she redeems herself, are they just going to introduce her as Laurel? You know what I mean? Like, she's back from the dead. I mean, I don't know. I guess that would be kind of difficult.
Yeah, I don't know how that would make that work.
Braden says, when is the 4-channel crossover again? It's this Saturday. And tomorrow I'm making a video about it. I'm pretty sure that Paigey will make a video to remind people on Saturday morning as well, or he'll mention it in his video.
I'm just gonna upload a video to my channel, literally 5 minutes before we go live, just saying, click this link, idiots.
Yeah. If you were, I'm gonna say though, if you were a fan of Laurel, I have to think this was probably one of your favorite episodes, easily.
Yeah.
So somebody was saying that she was getting a mold because they were trying to make they were gonna do like a dead body of her, and I'm thinking, but Katie Cassidy's played a dead character before, so you don't need to do a
mold, and usually if they just do dead bodies, like it's just like a stunt person.
Right. They wouldn't go through the trouble of spending all that money. That's got to be some sort of like prosthetic of some type.
Yeah.
You hope she joins Team Arrow. That's kind of what I'm hoping for too, but the problem is I also like Dinah, and they're not going to have both of them on the team. So I think it's stupid that NTA, fake Team Arrow, is mad at Oliver. What you guys think about this? I said this previously, like I talked about it on our live stream last week. It's just, they're forcing it. And I think the fact that, okay, I get that Dinah is upset and I get that Renee is upset, but Curtis really has no reason to be mad at Oliver and the rest of the team. I mean, I feel like it's being really forced, but they had to split off the new team members and the old team members. That's the only way they could do it. So, all right. So moving on from Laurel, let's get into, the whole, should we go ahead and talk about Richard Dragon? I don't see why not. I mean, that was kind of like Richard Dragon. So you said a while back that you were very confident that he was going to end up, killing Caden James and taking over as the boss. And it seems like that's what they're doing. And I even mentioned that again in my video today, that Caden needed to go and Richard needed to take over. And I said that. And I feel like everything is like this. For me, the season just started in this episode. Like,
yeah, this is where the season is like picking up, picking off and picking up.
Does it feel? Was it about this time last season when it picked up, or was it a little bit earlier?
Was it 15, I think Prometheus got revealed, which is when it started picking up.
Yeah, and then like the remainder of the season with the remainder of the season, with the exception of like 1 or maybe 2 Olicity episodes or whatever, I think was really good. And even those weren't the worst episodes. I mean, they weren't the best of that season, but they definitely weren't the worst of the series. Legends will be in the agenda for Saturday in our 4-channel crossover. We're going to talk about it then and pull together all the information we have. So we're not going to talk about it tonight. Tonight I'm really going to focus on Arrow because my internet is not great, and I just definitely wanted to talk about this episode. So Richard Dragon, he is a lot smarter than he led us on to believe. The last, I would say 5, maybe 10 minutes of the episode, the conversations with Oliver, and okay, so also along with Richard Dragon, I think this was Michael Emerson's best episode as Caden James. Would you agree on that? I think it was definitely, I thought his monologues were better this episode.
I didn't necessarily like him in the flashbacks, but I think that's more because his supporting cast there was all like just randoms.
Yeah, that's true.
Like in the current day, though, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, that's what I like. Like the scene in the courtyard where they had the device at, that particular scene and his speech in that moment, I thought was really good. And I thought that his scene with Oliver at the end was really good. Those were probably the 2 like most memorable scenes. Like if we talk about Caden James, a year from now, these are the scenes that I'll remember. What's up, Victor? How are you? Yeah, Emerson had real emotion in this episode. I agree. The only scene that was kind of iffy for me, and if you go back and watch it, maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but the scene where he was inside of the shipping container and was told that, somebody had put an arrow through his son or whatever, that was a little like, I don't know. He's better than that scene. That scene wasn't that great, but
it was filmed really weird as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt like they were filming it on like a telephone or something. It was really strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything else I thought was really good. And Ricardo Diaz, and when he was sitting in the police department and says that the new police captain is in his pocket basically, and that he goes, and I have this quote in front of me: "Why destroy a city when you can take it over?" And I 100% agree. And this is what I've been saying for the longest time. Everyone wants to come in and take out the city, but what purpose would that really serve? And he said it like he wants to be the crime boss. I'm totally 100% okay with that. I think this is going to be another Prometheus moment. I think we're going to get another villain that's going to be memorable like Prometheus. I'm just predicting that now. I mean, what do you think? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I've just been waiting for Richard Dragon to take over, to be completely honest. I've just been waiting until the point where it happened because I knew it was coming. It just mattered when. And just the way and how it went down, I thought was just awesome. And I'm just excited to see where it goes. But I do feel like it is like that Prometheus moment where it gets like, not necessarily when Prometheus took off his mask, but when Oliver found out that Prometheus was Adrian Chase and just how his mannerisms changed, just like that.
Right.
Remember how the previous episode, quote unquote, Adrian Chase was still pretending to be Adrian Chase, and then that next episode, once he found out Oliver had gone to see Talia al Ghul, he just walks in as just a different person. So we've just met a completely new character. I thought, and I think this is what this is.
Yeah, it was almost
really,
like
we haven't met any of Rich. We've had, I think in total he's probably said like 10 lines the whole season.
Right.
And now, but then he walks into that room and gives that monologue of sorts.
Yeah.
And then just ruthless move, just stabs who we thought, or some thought,
and I was really worried that he was going to say something that was going to make him sound like Prometheus, but he didn't. He sounds like his own character, and that's really awesome. Chessmaster, thank you again for the donation. He says, Paige and Eric, I feel like Arrow is only great when Oliver's enemy has hand-to-hand combat and excessive physical training. You think the ratings will move up? Okay, so here's the thing. I hope the ratings move up because I don't think this season, and the point of the video I made today was I don't think this season is the worst season. I think there's a lot of people that think it is, but it's not. There's been a lot worse stuff that's happened on Arrow than what's going on this season.
Easily.
Yeah. I think this season has had problems because of the stigma around some of the stuff that's happening on the show, and people just aren't tuning in. I don't know if it's a time of week it's on, like it's on Thursdays or whatever. I don't know. But when it comes to this show in general, it absolutely works better when you have a street level villain for Oliver to face off on, because of the fact that it's relatable. When you put someone like Caden James or someone like Damien Dark on Arrow, and it's not well thought out, it shows. And I think that's kind of what's happened with this season, was Caden was a villain they decided to use because they sort of introduced him at the end of last season, and they thought, we already have him, let's go ahead and use him. So there he is. But he wasn't as great as I think they wanted him to be, and I don't really understand, to be completely honest, why he was such a big part of the beginning of the season. It's really, really weird. And we still don't know why he had any of those people helping him. Am I missing something here? Why did he have all of those other big guys helping him when he could have just paid people like underlings to do his work? I don't understand what the purpose of those characters being there were. But, I mean, am I missing something there, Paigey? Because I was trying to figure out why those specific people were helping him. Like Black Siren, I get it. That was his right hand, like, muscle. But the other people, I still don't understand why they were even there. They didn't do anything. Like, what did they do that was necessary? I mean, that's... Because Richard Dragon was running his own little thing. Anatoly didn't really have a reason to be there. So I'm trying to figure out what the purpose of those characters were.
Yeah, like, that's definitely, like, a bit of a blemish on it. Like, trying to explain, like, what the hell was going on there. And I don't necessarily think you'd be able to actually do that properly, to be completely honest.
Yeah, True Talk says connection to the team. But yeah, I would agree with that. But really the only person that had any connection to the team was Anatoly. And, you know, I mean, yeah, you could say Vince, but Vince was unknown to... Here's the other thing. I just thought about this. Dinah finding out Vince's identity was by chance. Like, it wasn't set up. So I don't understand... His whole story about being there to go after Caden, was that, did you say that's accurate or not? Because she found out about him on accident. So everything that happened after that could not have been planned. That's weird. Yeah. I just thought about that now. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that. None of that even matters anymore, because now we're moving on to like the real stuff. As far as Richard goes, I wonder now, because we know that there's going to be some League of Assassins stuff coming in this season. Do you think that's actually going to tie in with him? You think we're going to see a connection or no?
It's possible, because I think we've talked about this before. Like, he's meant to have been like in jail for a certain amount of time, and that's sort of like his like reason or the catalyst as to what's happening this season with him. He's just trying to he's using his money to take over the city that sort of tried to lock him away for life. But before that, we don't know like what got him tied into it that led to him getting wrongfully imprisoned and all this. Like, did he take the fall for someone, or did he get set up to take the fall for another character? Maybe a Malcolm Merlin or something like that. Not necessarily him, but someone along those lines.
In that, yeah, that general type of character. Yeah,
that general type of character. So there's still a lot to talk about, because there's still a lot to go over with Richard Dragon.
Yeah, somebody was asking if Richard Dragon was a meta in the comics. I don't remember him being a meta in the comics. I think he was just a member of the League with the Longbow Hunters, right? He didn't have any like special powers or anything like that.
No, it was just really skilled.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm thinking I can't remember any version of him that did. That's why I hate to answer questions like that without knowing for sure, because there's always different versions of characters. The ones I remembered, he didn't have any powers unless they changed it at one point. So people are saying next week's episode is going to be not next week's. The next episode to air is going to be a filler episode, but do you think it's going to be?
Not really, because filler's one has nothing to do with the like plots of the season. But it's all about Black Siren, so
yeah, it's
not filler. Yeah.
So people say Legends needs to be canceled with Supergirl. Really? Oh, there's some Legends controversy going on in the chat here.
And I agree with Jack there. Legends is the most consistent show out of them all. Like, really,
there was only one episode this season that hasn't worked, and that was
the
just
last episode we had.
Legends, the thing is, I can't really. This is why it's so hard for me to be critical on Legends, because even if I give it a 6 out of 10, the show knows what it is, and it's consistent in what it is, and I can't really fault them for that. I mean, But I know some people don't like Legends. Legends is a bit too funny, but it's also mature at the same time, which is a weird combination. Like, if you watch Legends, the humor is definitely not kids' humor. It's definitely adult humor. But the show is over the top. And I've said, I think I've said this so many times. Legends is like Back to the Future with superheroes. And if you remember the Back to the Future movie series, if you ever watched it, it's very silly and very funny. And I think that's what Legends is going for. But, you know, we'll have to see what's going to happen. It's kind of weird the way they're splitting up the seasons now with Legends and Supergirl. I'm not sure how they're going to pull everything off here. We'll have to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think, okay, so do we know for sure that we know Flash is gone for a couple of weeks? Is Arrow also gone for a couple of weeks? Or
yeah, Arrow's gone until March the 1st, which is the same week as Flash because of the Olympics.
Okay, so they're both coming out the same week. However, Black Lightning and Legends is airing throughout February, right?
Yeah, from what I know at least.
Oh my god, this year is so confusing for these shows. Like, normally they try to take them away and bring them back all at the same time.
Yeah, or like a week apart.
Yeah, Victor says, I'm sorry, Eric, but Legends is awful. And I can totally understand why you would say that. I mean, it's not that Legends is one of those shows where it's such a quirky show. If you don't like it, there's nothing that you're going to like about it. It's just not your show. You know what I mean? But I think Legends has found its audience because if you look at their numbers over the season, outside of their spike ratings for like crossovers and things, they are the most consistent show in ratings. And I think that CW would rather have consistency, and that's why Legends is probably one of their most like valued shows, I would think. Gotham comes back at the end of March, I think.
Beginning of March. I think comes back the same day as Arrow.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's like we'll have to keep an eye out for that because I do want to get back into Gotham videos, but I'm not going to be doing Gotham reviews. I'm going to be doing Gotham topical videos. So. And I'm trying to move into that category with everything, as you guys have been able to tell. That's slightly, I'm slightly switching that up on my channel a little bit. But I'm going to continue to do reviews for the shows that we have this season. But I'd kind of like to do something a little bit different. So we're going to see how that goes. But let's see. Legends needs to introduce the multitude and more magic next season. Well, I know we're getting the Constantine stuff this week coming up, which is kind of exciting. We'll talk about that on Saturday. I think we got a little bit more information on that.
The only thing I saw was that comicbook.com reiterating an article which was from like 3 months ago where they said Constantine will not be joining the Legends.
Interesting. Okay.
Need those clicks.
The Gotham is trash. It's so cringy. I couldn't find season 1. I'm like on episode 6. Season 1 is one of the worst seasons of Gotham.
And season 2 isn't like season 2 like has like half the season's good and then half the season's crap. Yeah. But then season 3 is.
Chance says you two seem to co-sign each other a lot in here. Are you talking about me and Paigey, or are you talking about people in the chat? I don't understand. Oh, she's talking about somebody in the chat. I was like, wait a minute. We disagree on a lot of stuff, so it's not like that. They need to bring Zatanna on Legends, and I want Sarah to hit on her. Well, the thing about that is I think Zatanna will probably be tied in with the Titan show, so we probably won't see her on Legends. I think if we're going to see her on TV, it's going to be on the Titan show, most likely. Episode 12 is titled The Curse of the Earth Totem. Well, I know we're going to meet Malice real soon, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, on Monday. He's in the Constantine episode, or apparently. It's going to be like our first look at him. Who knows what that means?
9-week break. What will you do, Eric? You mean the break for Supergirl? There's so much stuff on. I don't know if it'll even matter.
Well, Legends is on the day that Supergirl's on. It's not like you're losing anything. You're gaining something.
I'm gonna and I don't think I've ever said this on a live stream. I don't think I've ever had this conversation. Maybe on one of our crossover streams. But
triggered people incoming.
Yeah, no, not really. I actually think it's cool that Supergirl is coming on a little bit later because then you guys will get more consistent stuff. Like the longer stuff is on TV, the more live streams and stuff we can do. So while Supergirl is on, that will give me a reason to get live. Paige, you can join me. We can talk about the show. If stuff isn't on, it makes it a lot harder to do live streams about these shows. So I think it's great that they're delaying it a little bit.
The longer the shows are on, the better, because it just limits the amount of time you're going to be seeing Godspeed theories and stuff like that.
Which, by the way, I've seen Godspeed videos this week, and it's like, okay. I'm actually surprised. I think people have stopped asking me about it because they know how I feel about it. People just stopped. They're not even...
I'm tempted to do a good old theory breakdown. I usually do. People were asking me in my stream earlier this morning, like, what do you think about it? I think, well, I think it's stupid, but if you want me to do a video tearing it down, then let me know.
Oh, Black Lightning review is going to, well, I've already finished it. I just have to edit it. Like, I've already recorded it. So that one and Flash both are sitting on my computer waiting to be edited. So it'll be the next couple days. They'll be up. Let's see. I'd rather watch Baby Bruce Wayne and Incompetent Gordon than more on Goofball Legends. Well, some people... I know a lot of people that love Gotham. There are Gotham fans that are die-hard Gotham fans, and it's their favorite show. So, if Rory leaves the show, then Jonah Hex for replacement. See, I think they like Mick because Mick is their one, like, fish out of water character in every scenario. He's the one character that can always make humor out of anything they're doing. So, where is Smallville? Giovanni, that is a great question. Every time I've uploaded it, YouTube has blocked it. So, yeah, small video freeze. There's going to be issues with that. I'm sorry, guys. It's just my internet. Sorry. But we're not going to be on. We're already at the 35-minute mark, so we're not going to be on too much longer. We're going to save a lot of stuff for Saturday because that's when we have everybody on. Yeah, Mick is a good anti-hero, and he's literally the only person on the team that fits that mold anymore. So I don't know if they would get rid of him. I could see everybody keeps asking me if we would like to see Black Siren go to Legends, and it's like I don't know if she would fit in with that team, especially with Sarah already there. You know,
I prefer her just to stay on Arrow, to be completely honest.
I agree. I totally agree. One of the other things. Oh, you know what I just thought about, Paigey? We are going to see Arrow review videos with Flash in the thumbnail this week.
Oh, don't worry. Just like last week.
Yeah. I'm already expecting that. Who's leaving Legends next? There's a couple characters that I don't think are going to be leaving anytime soon. I think Sarah's pretty solid on that show. I
think Ray's on there as well. I don't think Ray will leave.
Yeah.
Ray and Sarah, the two that will never leave.
Yeah, I think Nate may go at some point.
I've heard one of the theories is that Nate and Amaya leave at the end of this season.
And they're probably going to go back to her home country and her village together. So I suspect that'll happen. Because the one thing about Legends is I think they like to have a revolving door of different heroes.
But not like everyone got at the same time, just maybe one or two leave and then one or two come in.
Yeah. Yes, somebody else who doesn't like Nate. Nate has been a hot and cold character for me. I thought he was okay when we first met him, and then he got powers, and then he just became, you know, I think the greatest and worst thing to happen with Nate is he became best friends with Ray, and now they're literally they're very similar characters. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, in terms of what they do on the show, if you could put either one of them in a situation and you're probably going to get the same result. So... yeah, Nate just came on. Yeah, I agree. Winter's Beauty. Nate is pretty boring at this point. I think Legends, though, in terms of storytelling, with the exception of Bebo in that episode, I have to say, if you're a fan of the show, this is probably your favorite season. If you loved Legends in general. I love the Hawks and I want them back. Well, Dirty Artist, you can go to change.org and start a petition. Yeah, because I don't think that we're ever going to see them again. Why does Renee, a.k.a. Mad Dog, have such disdain for Oliver? The last preview looks ridiculous. Oliver's been nothing but good to him. It makes me mad. Willie, I've tried to figure that out too, and we talked about that earlier, that Renee has just become this character that I don't like. And I didn't like him, and then I did like him, and now I don't like him again. Oliver and Team Arrow helped Renee redeem his entire life. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, you know, his job with the city, they helped him get his daughter back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that that none of that matters to him is very strange to me. Oh gosh. Okay. CB2198. You want me to talk about the non-Venom teaser trailer? So first of all, in its defense, it is a teaser trailer. But I think that they marketed it incorrectly because of the fact that everybody was kind of expecting to see Venom. And obviously that didn't happen. It was basically Tom Hardy in a generic action trailer. And that's kind of what it was. I was let down with it. As you know, and you guys can't see it now, but I have a huge Spider-Man decal on my wall. The Venom symbiote story from Secret Wars. I was actually buying comics at that time. I remember that story very vividly. I remember Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane, who both are, you know, these huge iconic Venom artists that created that look and design of Venom. My biggest fear right now with Venom, okay, is that we're not going to get the full-on, like, big open jaw, tongue out, massive teeth, Spider-Man Venom. I fear we're going to get more of an Agent Venom character. And the Agent Venom character is more about creating actual weapons out of the symbiote instead of being the Venom that we know that mimics Spider-Man. Because if you think about it, without Spider-Man present, it doesn't really make much sense for him to mimic Spider-Man. However, having him mimic weapons would make sense. And that would allow him to look... Like, the trailer looked so much like a realistic, like, art piece film. I don't know how it would look to have, like, Venom, full-on Venom in that movie. I mean, it looks like it was filmed for, you know, Oscar nominations and things. Yeah, Cody, and I'm thinking that it's... I don't think we're going to get the Venom that everybody is expecting, and I honestly believe that that's going to trigger a lot of fans. Take care, Chance. Thank you so much for stopping in. Hey, Swag Money. You missed everything. You missed it all. We've been talking for 41 minutes.
But watch everyone blame Disney.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, they already started to do that.
Have they?
Yeah. Well, there's people that have said that the MCU fans aren't going to like Venom because it's not connected. That the MCU fans are not going to like it. Spider-Man's not in it. They're not going to like it because it's not made by, you know, Disney and Marvel. And here's my thing, okay? Just real quickly, and I'll probably do a separate video about this because I don't want to go off on too much of a rant. But the fact that people would say that fans of Venom and Spider-Man should not be upset because Spider-Man is not in the movie are the same people who would get mad if Joker and Batman aren't in a movie together, or if Lex Luthor was the villain of somebody other than Superman, or if Joker was a villain on Arrow instead of on a Batman series. Spider-Man and Venom are synonymous as characters. He is the Joker of Spider-Man's world. He is the most iconic villain that Spider-Man has ever had, outside of the Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin.
It's like having Flash and Reverse Flash. They're like mirror, you know.
Yeah, exactly. He is the anti-Spider-Man. So to act like the fans of Venom and Spider-Man shouldn't be upset that Sony is purposely splitting these properties is ridiculous. And they're also doing it because of the fact that they don't want Marvel to cash in on Venom. They are still playing this game like, hey, Marvel, we're going to shake your hand with, you know, with our right hand, and then with our left hand, we're going to be scheming and doing things behind your back. And that's the whole point of this, because they feel like if they can make money off of Venom, then Marvel will never use that character in their properties.
Yeah, and knowing they'll probably keep the rumor alive that Tom Holland's in there.
Right.
They won't. No one will come out and say no, he's not in there. They probably would have, because technically Tom Holland's an employee of Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Sony would be like, hey, you're on our contract. Don't say anything about it, whether you're in or not in the movie.
Because he hasn't. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so just don't say anything.
Yeah, and CB says, I also heard they don't want Marvel to have Tom Hardy. That's another thing. Tom Hardy was being rumored that Marvel was going to pick him up. Yeah, as Wolverine. And Sony jumped in and said, hey, we're going to grab him too. So now they have one of the most popular Spider-Man villains and an actor that's a great actor. Tom Hardy's one of my favorite actors put in this movie. And I have a feeling the movie is going to be a letdown because the people behind it are the same people that kept dropping the ball on the Spider-Man films. So everyone that's championing it and all the people that are supporting it, that's great. If you think it's going to be great, that's awesome. But do not get mad at the fans for not wanting Venom to be part of the MCU, because honestly, that's where he should be. He should not be in this separate movie. And I really hope that Marvel says, hey, you guys use Venom over there. That movie failed. Guess what? He's going to be our villain in the third Spider-Man movie. And that's kind of what I'm hoping is going to happen. I just think it's really silly for them to go back and forth with this. Sony has the perfect opportunity to build this separate Spider-Man universe along with Marvel and work with the people that have made these movies successful. Because here is the reality of it. Whether you like the MCU movies or not, they make money. They're successful movies and they have a huge fan base. So you can hate them all you want, but it's really stupid from a business standpoint for Sony to not want to work with them. It's just really stupid. You don't like Tom Hardy's voice for Venom. Did we hear his voice in the trailer? Was that him? Was he using an American accent? I'm assuming he is. Ben thinks Venom looks good. I saw Ben's reaction to that, and it's fine. It did nothing for me. That trailer literally was like, okay.
It just really showed me who the hell, because I didn't know Michelle Williams was in it, and I was like, oh, Michelle Williams is in this movie. I was like, okay, I don't know how she got dragged into this, but let's see how it goes.
Cheyenne says Diaz did the homie Caden James wrong. Well, we were waiting for that. It was going to happen. We kind of, I think everybody, everybody was waiting for the ball to drop on that one. Do you think Avengers Infinity War is going to be amazing, or are you not super excited? Both of you, please answer. Well, Paigey loves to call me a Marvel shill, so just wait for that, Marvel shill.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's actually pretty good. I think Infinity War is going to be great if you're invested in the franchise. Like if you somebody that's watched this whole like platform build up from day one, then I think it is going to be like the big finale, as they say, on what's happened in the MCU. Because I do think we're going to start seeing a shift in characters after the second part of that Infinity War movie. How can it not be amazing? I mean, that's the thing. How can it not be? We're talking about every character that you've loved put into this, huge flagship movie. I love Civil War, so I'm sure I'm going to love Infinity War. I don't know, and I'm sure Paigey, I know Paigey's going to see it. I mean, whether he likes it or not is yet to be seen, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go see it too. Right, Paigey?
Yeah, and it comes out like a week and a half, 2 weeks before it comes out in America. I'll say like 2 weeks before.
Spoilers.
I don't know why Australian cinemas do that. It comes out on my birthday, I'm pretty sure as well. Oh spoilers. Yeah. if anyone wants to test me, I'll give you who dies. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure comicbook.com and stuff like that will be sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Spoiler dies in Infinity War, and then put the picture of who dies as the actual.
Right, they'll put spoiler, but then you'll see them in the photo.
Yeah, and it'll be like only one person. But I'm looking for. I enjoy the Marvel movies. Like I like DC more. Like I grew up with DC. The only Marvel thing I read Spider-Man comics. Like Spider-Man was actually like the second character I got into comics with, but
that's not really surprising. I mean, Spider-Man is the most popular Marvel character.
So I read Spider-Man stuff, but in the movies, I look forward to every Marvel movie. The only Marvel movie I thought was deserved to possibly get panned over the past 2 years was Guardians 2, because I thought the first half of that movie was trash.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people agreed with you on that, so that's not too out of the ordinary.
People bagged out I have a feeling that the first half of Guardians was Marvel tinkering with it, or the marketing people saying, "Oh, we need to sell music."
Because it's weird that the third Thor movie was so amazing, and the Guardians could have been just like that, but it
I don't know really. The Guardians 2 felt like two different people made it. So James Gunn made the last half, and some random music executive made the first half. Because basically, the first half is basically what people criticize Suicide Squad about, just random songs popping up all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
What it was, and had no story.
So Turner says, and I scroll back up for this. He goes, "Let's say they cancel Arrow in the future. Do you think they bring Oliver back for the crossovers?" And that's pretty much the question. So here's the thing: if they do cancel Arrow, which if they do, it'll be. I think we're definitely going to get a 7th season. I'm pretty sure there'll be a 7th season. Yeah. If they cancel it after that, I think that Stephen Amell has other business endeavors, and I actually think he wants to be a movie star. So, if he actually decided to come back for a crossover, I honestly believe it would be just that one-time thing. I don't think we'd see him popping up, every now and again or whatever. What do you think, Paigey? I mean.
Oh yeah, same. And that's like, if he's available. And
Right.
as I said, like you said, he obviously wants to get into the movie business, and have a second crack at it after that first attempt, which we won't talk about. Don't think I need to talk about that.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's basically it. Just that. I'd be even surprised if he came back for crossovers, to be completely honest. Because as I said, I think he wants to get into the movie business, so it's basically like one movie a year, and spend time with his family and other business.
I actually wonder, like,
and also,
yeah, go ahead.
He's like, it's not publicly. I don't think it's publicly known yet, but I think it's pretty damn obvious. He's like a partner in that Heroes and Villains thing. Like, he is a part owner.
Yeah.
Or at least an investor in it. So, he'd probably want to get that back up, and
he's also got
attend those things,
like a wine business as well, and he does a lot of charity work, and he's got a lot of.
I've heard the wine thing isn't that popular. I've heard it's profitable, but it's not like popular.
It's called Knocking Point, I think, is the name of the wine. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you like wine, go for it.
Yeah, but I believe
you get like cool, like arrowy stuff if you do it. Like Arrow inspired.
So you think, though? Do you think he would pursue a career in film if he could?
If he could, yeah. But I think that's the thing. Like, really nowadays, especially with social media, if you have like a big following, they're going to cast you.
Let's see, I'm looking for something very specific here. A joke was made in the chat, and I was going to try and make something funny, but I'm having a hard time. If he comes back, I want it to make sense. Well, I have a feeling that if they knew the show was going to end, they would write in some sort of ending that leaves the door open for him to come back, but doesn't require them to do a week-to-week show.
Yeah.
Like Ride Off in the Sunset with Felicity, maybe? Possibly.
Or they could just make it that he just remains mayor.
That's a good point. And that he finishes his job as Green Arrow or something. I think that would be... Yeah, I could see that happening.
So he's still in Star City, but he's just not that Green Arrow on a daily basis.
Right. And that could explain why he's just not doing, you know what I mean? Like, he's not out there doing anything. Or they could basically have, okay, see you later, Swag Money. They could basically have him, like you said, be the mayor, and somebody else takes over for him, and then we're just to assume that they're doing, that they're protecting the city. Black Lightning music getting repetitive. Well, Victor, I believe in this week's episode, it was because of the green light. They had a lot of different versions of that same song. At least I think that's what it could have been. Okay, so somebody's told me that I should shave my mustache. Let me show you a picture of me from high school. I have it here on my phone. I actually had really long hair, but I have had some sort of facial hair ever since high school. Look at this. How funny is that? That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
I'm waiting for it to come up on screen.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll see it here in a second.
Oh, whoa. That's unexpected.
Yeah, wasn't it? A little scary. Yeah, that's the only one I have on my phone. I thought it was kind of funny, though. But anyway, so... Savage Reviews. Eric, on behalf of YouTube. When I go into the office to, put all the tags on this video, it will be demonetized. It will be, I'm pretty sure. So that's not even a question. Nice tie-dye shirt. Yeah, I know, exactly. Whoa, I didn't expect that. So, hey, what's up, Aaron? Cool Water Yo is from Australia as well. I've known him for a long time. He used to come to my shows when I used to be on a website called Blog TV, and I did a series called For the Win. And it was actually a pretty popular show I did on Mondays before the website died out. Every Monday, Paigey, I would do a show from 6 to 8. And it would be about like popular stuff from the previous week. Movies, TV shows, things like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just like comic book stuff. It was just popular stuff in general.
Yeah.
And I used to get like on that website, they used to feature you on the front page. And when you're featured on the front page, you would get like, thousands of viewers. And I think I talked about this before, possibly. Keemstar started on that website as far as live streaming goes. And he used to do shows over there as well. And he used to do room raids. And he would come in the rooms and like raid these rooms that people were doing. And whenever you're on the front page, he would come in and raid your room. And it was kind of funny because he used to do Call of Duty, I think back then was the game he was playing. And he would like get all of his friends on there to come on and raid rooms and stuff and everything. And he came in and actually got my channel in trouble, which is kind of funny that happened. But yeah, just a little bit of history there. I knew Keemstar when he was like basically just starting out on doing it, but his drama alert has really blown up for him. So congratulations on that, I guess. Supernatural rant, yes. Everybody keeps asking me about that. I wasn't going to do Supernatural videos, but is there like a lack of Supernatural videos on YouTube? I mean, is there no channels covering that show?
You probably just get reactions. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't want to do reactions. I would rather do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't reckon there'll be anyone doing actually like reviews and like explaining what's happening and stuff.
Yeah.
Just be reactions like, "Oh, a demon."
The hashtag is in the bag. Eric is the new Keemstar. I don't know if that's ever going to trend, but you're welcome to use it.
Eric's the DC TV drama alert.
Right. I actually, originally, this is no joke. When I started my channel like years ago, and it was like I was trying to figure out what I was going to do or whatever, when I decided to come back, I was literally going to make my channel about like drama within the shows, like stuff going on behind the scenes and stuff. And then I was like, that would be really, really, really bad because then I would get caught up in all of that. So it's like, I'm not going to do that, but it probably would have got tons of views. I did a video where I was ranting a little bit about Zack Snyder, and that video got so many views and so many comments on it.
Would there be any RS West specific videos on that?
It could have been, possibly. About our interview with Marie Claire magazine. Yeah, I probably would have done that.
What's RS have for breakfast?
Do a season overview for Supernatural. If you guys remind me to do it, I'll do one. I can do that. I mean, that's easy. Season overviews are just like, I sit down and talk about what I thought of, things in the season or whatever. Fun facts, Eric's first video was a taste test. Actually, no, my first video, I've got tons of videos that are unlisted because they're just bad videos. It's not that I have a problem with them. It's just like, those are all videos that were like in my stumbling days and they were not very good. Let's see. I would like some other shows other than DC shows, review shows like Altered Carbon and such. Everyone keeps asking me about Altered Carbon. Let me ask you guys a question. And me and Paige touched on this on Tuesday. When there's a show that's got like 12 episodes and they're all released at the same time, do you guys actually find it interesting for someone to watch one episode and review that episode even though you can immediately watch the next one? I want an honest answer to that, because for me personally, I don't think that's interesting. But maybe I'm in the minority there. I mean, I could do like a season overview, but like those shows are built for the mystery to start at the end of the season, basically.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't really feel like an episode. It just feels like,
a 10-hour movie.
Of the episode, it's just like you going to the bathroom or something. It's like, you just pause in the movie.
Look, Willie, just do a series review, bro. I ain't got the time. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, nobody's going to stop one episode and then come to YouTube to watch a review. So yeah, I'll do a season overview of Altered Carbon. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm about halfway through right now. Tom Welling is now on Lucifer. Yeah, I've seen some of the episodes with him in it. See, Savage says I prefer episode to episode as it's easier to follow. I don't know. Most people are saying that they prefer like a season overview. We'll have to see. Yeah, reviewing one episode and nothing else is clickbaity. Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of stuff that's clickbaity. Let's see. Turner says, do you think after all the shows go off, will they make like a complete series of the Arrowverse? I would pay big money to see that. You mean like of Arrow or of all the shows together? Like as one collective thing? Because the only problem with that is even though the shows are all part of the Arrowverse, the distribution is different for every single series. Like as far as like selling the DVDs and Blu-rays. Yes, I will do one for Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones was one of my favorite shows of that year. Wait, YouTube's been taking down people's reviews? My channel got flagged too? Reviews for what? What are you talking about? Did I miss something?
Thought the demonetization button was your worst enemy.
Yeah. Did you see, Paigey? They blocked my videos in all countries. I got that on like 3 videos last week. Blocked in all countries. Them. In all countries.
What the hell?
Yeah. There was a video. What was it? What video was it? One of my Flash trailer reactions was blocked in all countries, and I'm like, what? And then they did it to one of my recent videos. It uploaded and said it was blocked in all countries due to the content. I uploaded the picture to Twitter. It was really weird.
That is quite strange.
Because it's weird. If it's blocked in all countries, why not just remove it? Like, what's the point of the video even being allowed to be on the platform?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That. I got my videos flagged. I did Netflix reviews on my podcast. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Caden James whispered, "Hailed Hydra" as he died. If Arrow gets canceled, will they still call it the Arrowverse? Yes, absolutely. It will always be the Arrowverse, even if the show goes off the air. Eric's Reloaded. What are the requirements to get on a Tuesday live stream? Not be messy, I guess. Just be a cool person. I don't really have a problem. It's one of those things where you just have to be able to, like, Paigey and I talk all the time, so it's really easy for me to be like, hey, are you gonna jump on? Okay, you're not gonna jump on? Okay, it's real easy. So it's just one of those things where you would have to like hit me up around the time when I'm going to go live. You know what I mean? And say, hey, I'm free. You guys got room? Because one thing I can't do is sit here and go back and forth adding and taking people out of the chat. So that's kind of the only real requirement. And that I have to kind of know who you are in the sense that I can't have like, hamster wheel 1, 2, 3, 4 saying, oh, can I be on the live stream? No, it's not going to happen.
He comes in and gets your channel completely taken down for stuff he says on the stream.
Right. That's the thing is they have to realize that it's my channel on the line if they come on and do something stupid. Eric is public enemy #1 according to YouTube's algorithm. You know what, TF? Like, I honestly feel like that sometimes because my videos get flagged no matter what. I've done everything. I've done everything you could possibly do. Have you seen AVGN? Do you mean Angry Video Game Nerd? Is that what that means? I've seen that. Yeah, I mean, I know what that is. I don't know if there's anything specific that you're asking about. True Talk says hamster wheel 1, 2, 3, 4 LMAO. Let's see. A live stream because it's bashing Supergirl, praising Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Supernatural. Yeah, so
don't get on stream with Ben.
Let's see. I'm getting annoyed with Black Lightning. It's way too SJW oriented. It hasn't really felt that way for me. I mean,
because it's relevant to it. I think SJW is when you're bringing stuff that isn't relevant to it and you're trying to make a statement. It's just like, no, stay in your lane.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what would have been considered SJW from this week because I don't think there was anything unless I'm just missing it. I mean, the show is about him and his family living in their city and the things that happen in that city. I can't think of anything that, like, yeah, you're right. If SJW to me would have been like things that don't matter. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
let's throw in this thing because people will get mad if we don't do it. And I don't feel like they've done that. They
randomly brought in terrorism into it. It's like, no, why is there terrorism in this? Like, it doesn't need to be in here.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like when Arrow, it seems like they've dropped it. Remember at the beginning of this season, like, oh, Arrow's doing a Black Lives Matter episode, and everyone was like, oh, you don't do that, because your whole writer's room is white. So
right.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So
and I think they've backed off on that one, so that would have been SJW. That would have been SJW.
Yeah,
they've done that.
I agree. I guess maybe like early on, maybe some of the references, like the very first episode, there was a lot of references to civil rights things and stuff like that. But I think that was like, I think I said on the first episode that the reason why it didn't like bug me like it did when like Arrow did the gun control episode or whatever was because I felt like that was setting up the foundation for the series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what software do you guys use for videos? Well, for live streaming, the easiest thing to use in the freeware is OBS, Open Broadcast Software. Yeah. It's very user friendly and it's free. As far as editing software, I've got Sony and I also have Adobe. I don't know. What do you use, Paige? You use Sony?
You
have a Mac. So you have a Mac, right?
I use Final Cut Pro.
I remember that. I remember you saying that. Yeah. You've wanted to get on the stream since October. It's not that I haven't noticed. It's just that, honestly, I get a lot of people asking. So sometimes I just forget the specific people that said, hey, I want to do it. It's nothing like personal or anything like that. Black Lightning lost its soul music for rap. You mean in this week's episode? My Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video is done. It's another video that's done. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. It's done. I have not edited the video yet. It's about Coulson. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on break, so I'm doing a video every single week until it comes back. This one is going to be about Coulson. The first one's going to be about Coulson. So look forward to that, Julia. How does Arrow go up against Celebrity Big Brother reality shows? Reality shows are usually on major networks, and they always pull in like much more views than scripted content on the side channels. Because CW is like a niche channel, and the problem with that is it's not available in all markets, which is not great. What other DX character superheroes maybe you want to see show up on Black Lightning? Let's see. Black Lightning. See, Black Lightning is a show where I don't necessarily know if I want a bunch of like superheroes or supervillains to show up on. You know? What do you think, Paigey? Yeah. Like, I feel like they probably don't need that on the show.
Yeah, I think I need it on the show at the moment. Like, right now, like, I don't think it'd be necessary.
Yeah.
Even in like, yeah, it's just, honestly, it's just not necessary. It's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
I think just leave it as it. I know people are going mad over this Supergirl name drop. I'm like, yeah, but they also had an Outsiders DC comic, so it's nothing. Like, don't lose your marbles over that.
Well, Brad says, what do you think got Coulson sick? Well, I don't want to talk about too much of that because it is part of my video, but there's two possible theories. One of them is a little bit more obvious than the other. I think a lot of people are thinking about the Ghost Rider situation. So that's one possibility. And the other one is something that happened on the episode. Go back and watch like the very last episode and pay attention to the fight scene. And I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Ben says, remember we had 2 missing metahuman husks last season. My guess is Caitlin is one of them. That would explain Killer Frost being both evil and a split personality. You know what, Ben? That's fine. I mean, that would be a good explanation for me. I feel like that's absolutely fine. I don't think that last season. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
They'll probably bring Painkiller on Black Lightning at some point. Yeah, Ren, I think we're going to see like street level characters. I don't think we'll see any big, like I hope not. I hope we don't see any big, huge. Static Shock would be cool. I think a lot of people want to see him. But I don't know if that's like, I'm a fan of Static Shock and he's very similar to Black Lightning, so I'd love to see him on the show. I don't know if that's what the showrunners would think when they heard that. I use Microsoft Movie Maker. Maybe I need to upgrade. You can use that. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're able to accomplish what you want to do in software, you don't need to upgrade. The minute you feel like the software is limiting you, then you need to like move on to something else. Yeah, Willie, that's the scene I'm talking about. Okay, Chessmaster. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up because we're pretty much off track now. Let's answer the last few questions here. What shows are part of the Arrowverse? The 4 main shows. Supergirl is expanded Arrowverse. I don't like to call her main Arrowverse, but expanded Arrowverse. And then you've got Legends, Flash, and Arrow. Black Lightning is part of the multiverse, but not officially part of the Arrowverse. So, Inhuman Season 2, let's go. Giovanni, that you're trying to trigger me, and I'm not falling for it. It just got Flash. I got PTSD flashbacks talking about Flash Season 3. Oh, God. I will say this before I go, because Paige and I talked about it. I don't know if I said it on live stream or not. I may have. I think I did. That Flash Season 2 isn't as bad as I remember, because I think my favorite episodes of The Flash are in Season 2. But I think Season 1 was still the better season as far as like storyline.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that, 100%. About how many great episodes there are in season 2. What will The Flash do for its 100th episode next season? It's going to be a musical episode with everybody from Glee coming back.
Well, it's in the crossover, so imagine they just did a 4-night musical crossover.
My life would be complete. You know what's really funny? On your live stream, when the question of the musical crossover came up, if you noticed, I did not say anything. I kept my mouth shut the whole time. I didn't say anything about it.
I don't think anyone said anything. I think I just let Ben talk, didn't I?
Yeah.
Or did everyone? I think, maybe Boba and chimed in as well, but I think I just went, Ben, you can talk.
Legato, we are excited about Ricardo Diaz. I think me and Paige are both equally happy right now based on what happened in this episode. Yep. Have you seen Marvel's Runaways? Yes, it is really good. And that's another show. Hulu obviously doesn't like their content to get uploaded. So I did a review on it and it immediately got hit. So I'm just having trouble getting content out to you guys. Maybe after YouTube has this thing and what is it this month? Is it the end of this month where they're like demonetizing all the smaller channels? I'm thinking that may change their flagging system a little bit. So,
ooh, Kevin Smith just posted a photo on Twitter of himself in the Time Vault.
Really?
Hmm.
That's interesting.
And it's lit up and everything, so it's not just the old set. So
Eric, what's it take to get a response in DMs? I don't know. I have a lot that I haven't answered, so I'm not very good with that. I can't give you a really good answer for that. Okay. YouTube. Oh, wow. Savage Reviews. Look at that one, Pagey. He is coming for you. YouTube, go demonetize Pagey. He said it in the chat for everybody to see.
I do get the yellow buttons sometimes, but the method I do, and I don't know if Eric's done it, I think I might have brought it up before, is I literally just keep deleting the video and re-uploading until the yellow button goes away.
TF says, I love how Pagey's just laughing at your pain, Eric. I'm a good punching bag, put it that way.
It's just a bit of a meme now. Like before I was like, oh, that sucks, but now it's just like, oh, it's just comedic.
The thing is, if I didn't find humor in that, it would drive me crazy. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't think it was funny to some degree, it would literally make me go crazy.
Like trust me, I think I've said stuff to Eric in the DMs and stuff that I probably wouldn't like the public knowing. So Eric can make a Pagey #exposed.
Yeah.
Featuring the DC TV show and Worcester.
Yeah. So, by the way, True Talk says 1,000 subs. Yeah, I realize that that's a big issue. One thing that's happening right now that I think is a big problem is a lot of channels are literally just subscribing to each other to reach that 1,000 subs threshold. And I'm going to tell you right now, from somebody who knows how it is to have a bunch of dead subs on a channel, it's really not good to inflate those numbers like that. I mean, you don't want to have a channel where you have a bunch of people that are just not watching your videos. Everybody does, but you don't want to start your channel out like that. Like that's not the first thing you want to do. And I know it sucks hearing that, but legitimately the best way to do it is just really work hard to get people that want to watch your videos to subscribe to your channel. And I know that's probably a really horrible thing to say, because I don't want to feel like I hate when people give advice about stuff like that. But that is the one thing, if anybody ever asks me about the situation, I would say do not falsely inflate your sub count. It's just not worth it. It screws up your demographics and everything in your system. Like if you go into the back end, like if I pull up my YouTube app right now, YouTube keeps track of all of that stuff and your demographics and the age group, you know, of people that are subscribing to you and blah, 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 all these things. If you have a bunch of people that aren't really there for your content, it really messes those numbers up.
And it's the same with botting likes and views as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll see a lot of channels. I'm not going to name anyone. I think me and Eric know of one person in particular who does it.
It's not cool. It screws up your channel.
It screws up your channel because, you might bot likes and stuff. You might help out that one video, but then you'll do a video which, basically the same topic and it'll get like a fraction of the views. Arguably like a 10th, possibly, if it's worst case scenario.
Savage Reviews goes, I dare you to mimic Keemstar's intro with your own twist. Do you accept it? What? Like, is it because we both have a beard? Is that really the only, is that what it is? Savage Reviews, you were trying to get me in so much trouble. Legato $5 super chat. Thank you so much. You caught us right as we were heading out here. If Ricardo Diaz wanted to take over Star City, why was he willing to let Caden James detonate the bomb? See, I don't think he ever thought it was going to get that far. I think he probably, because what happened tonight, I think was unexpected, you know, like with the team, like with, because I don't think Ricardo thought, or, okay, correct me here, Paige, you keep me on track here. I don't think Ricardo knew that Caden was going to find out that Oliver did not do it. You know what I mean? I don't think that was in the plans. I think Ricardo may have had another plan for the detonation. What do you think?
Yeah, like I don't think it's any like sort of DeVoe thing where he can see the future or anything like that. I think he was. Well, what was? It would have been interesting to see where Ricardo was going when Wild Dog and Mr. Terrific got him.
Yeah,
that never really got explained.
Because
Anatoly was with like a couple of his people, wasn't he?
Right.
I think when he got captured.
That's a good question, though, Legato. Honestly, if you want to take over Star City, why was he willing to let Caden James detonate the bomb? Because we don't know what his actual plan was. We can assume that he had something in mind, but I can't say that for sure. I can't speak for the writers, and I always say that. So it's quite possible that you're right. That's a great question. Let's see. Anything else? Trekking along. True Talk, you're going to do great. Your channel's great. You've got a good foundation. You're starting out the right way. You're using freeware software. You're not investing a bunch of money. You're just investing time, and that's always a good thing. I actually started out, you know, in my bedroom before I built this space or whatever. I just took what I was getting at the very beginning to make this place that I'm filming now, and just use that money to upkeep everything, internet, lighting, all that stuff and everything, heating and cooling. So yeah, you're doing the right thing. You're just keep trucking along. You'll be fine. As long as you're doing it because you love it. That's really all it is. I mean,
yeah, as soon as you start doing it solely just, look, this person's able to just do YouTube as a job. Oh, I can't wait to do that. As soon as your mindset's on that, you're destined to fail.
Right.
Yeah. Like if you're motivated and you, take pride again. That's probably the best way to put it. If you take pride in what you're doing, then a good fortune will come your way.
Yeah, because I think trying to do YouTube for a job right now is probably not something you want to do at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's see. But okay, so Legato says, but he let him walk out and didn't know where he was. Well, if I remember correctly, wasn't Ricardo the first person that said he knew that something was up? Like, in the episode?
Yeah, he walked it. Yeah, he was like, if you haven't noticed, our ride should have been here a while ago. We've been waiting overtime for it to arrive. So he was the first one that picked up on a sniff that Caden James was messing with them. Yeah. I think that's why he went basically, that he directly went after Caden James then. Mainly because Caden James turned on what they'd all been setting up, but also because Caden James was going to leave them there to die as well.
Yeah, but he says, but they were all still leaving. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Again, I think the shows they always have plot holes. It just depends on how big of a problem it is. So my issue with plot holes are when they go unanswered in the sense that they don't add up to anything. Like all the stuff with Savitar that happened with the suit, his motivations, why the team shunned him, all those things are plot holes that didn't actually add up to anything. Whereas tonight, and I've said this before, if you have a plot hole, but it is actually forcing something to happen to move the season along in a specific way, then I don't usually have too much of a problem with that as long as it's purposeful. Like tonight, they knew that Ricardo Diaz had to end up, taking out Caden James. So everything else that led up to that, it just had to flow. It didn't have to be perfect, but I nitpick. I know what you're saying. I get it. It doesn't all add up. And I guess we're just to assume that Ricardo Diaz had some plan in motion. What's the difference between continuity errors and plot holes? Continuity errors would be like say, for example, I had this drink in front of me, right? And it was full to the top. And then the camera turns to another person on scene. And then it comes back to me and the drink is half full. And then it turns back to that person. It comes back to me and the drink is full again. Continuity errors are things that are chronologically, they don't make any sense, or they're out of canon for the show. So it's like those are continuity errors. Plot holes are things that the writers write, and then they just fall into a hole. I mean, you never hear about them again. It's never discussed. Like Savitar's costume, in my opinion, would be a plot hole because they never explained it. You could say they just forgot about it. That's not a continuity error. That's a plot hole. What would you say, like what would be a good example of a continuity error from this season of Arrow? Trying to think of something that would be a good continuity error. Like, I could probably find... Flash probably has a lot more continuity errors this season than... because of change in tone. Since Arrow didn't really change its tone, there hasn't been too many continuity problems. Maxwell Lord. Maxwell Lord would be considered a plot hole and a continuity error, I think, all in one.
He's all of the above.
Flash forgetting to dodge. No, that's just bad writing. That's not a continuity error. That's just bad writing. Like how they changed the particle A date on the Flash. Yes, a date change would be a continuity error. Absolutely. Yes, Ralph Dibny. See, Flash has got more than Arrow does. It's much more obvious. I'm burned out on Flash this season. I understand that. Pagey, the party hat you wore in your Arrow review needs to become become a permanent thing.
Ooh, that's a big call.
That is. It's a big request. So we're right around where we were on Tuesday, so I think that's a good time to call it out. So thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Cold Water Yo. Yes, I do consider Black Lightning the most serious out of the DC TV shows, even more so than Arrow because it's a bit more realistic, which is hard to believe, but it is. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you so much, Paigey, for joining me in my Arrow after talk about all the shows, but really Arrow was so good tonight that I just wanted to kind of focus on that. And that's pretty much it. So we will chat with you guys on Saturday, 8 p.m. GMT. I think we've confirmed that.
Yeah.
Which is 3 p.m. Oh, Legato. See, Legato, you know how to stop me. What was up with Black Siren just letting Lance take her? She didn't have a collar with her voice was working just fine. Because I think, like, subconsciously she wants to go with him.
And she was shot in the gut. It's like, oh, I can't go to a hospital. Maybe he might be able to help.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the case. But Lance taking her, again, that's one of those things where the writers needed her to go with him. So certain things just get tossed to the side. They're like, okay, she needs to go with him. So we're going to make it work as best possible. So, but I think that's a good thing because I think we're going to get a Laurel Lance or a Black Siren that actually is more along the lines of what a lot of us have been waiting for. Would you agree with that, Paigey?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Yeah,
more of an anti-hero on a redemption arc than just a plain straight-up villain. Yeah, come in and see us on Saturday. This Saturday, 8 p.m. GMT. 3 p.m., I believe, New York time. I will check that again to make sure before Saturday. Paigey, that is 5 a.m. your time. Which one is it?
I think it's 4 or 5.
Okay.
Just wanted to pick it.
Yeah. And I have a special intro that I've worked on. It's not going to be quite as funny as Paigey's, but I think it serves the same purpose. So I don't know. She did kill a lot of people. Well, as Killer Frost said on The Flash this week, you can be redeemed on that. So apparently. Anyway, I will chat with you guys on Saturday. Hope to see all of you there. If not, it'll be available on playback. But come in with your questions. We're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to set it up a little bit different than the way we've normally done it. Because I kind of like the way Paigey did it. So I think I'm going to kind of do something along that way. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. See you later. Bye.
Farewell.